One Jacks Parks facility receives national recognition, plus what it takes to be a professional camper and cranking out a career in parks. All that and more now on JPTV.
Everyone, and welcome to this edition of JPTV. I'm Pam Roman, and we're starting off today's show here at the Southside Tennis Complex in San Marco. We recently were going to produce a story about the fact that the United States Tennis Association recognized Southside Tennis Complex as a top USA facility. However, after doing some interviews, we realized the story was a lot more than just this complex. It's really about a community who takes pride in this facility, city leaders who are committed to its success, and one man's love and passion for the game of tennis and the facility that he loves. Here's the real story.
Should they stop totally?
In my mind, Harold Thomas has been that facility. He's been the face of that facility for as long as I can remember. I know it's well over 20 years, and does such an outstanding job, and it's really an appropriate recognition for all of his hard work there, making it what it is. It's wonderful that we have the quality of courts and the quality of facility that we do, but he personally makes the teams what they are, and has the lessons for the kids that come back year after year, and has the summer camps that everyone wants to participate in, and a lot of that is Harold.
City Council Vice President Lori Boyer is talking about Jacks Park's lead tennis pro. Harold Thomas is starting his 29th year here at the Southside Tennis Complex in San Marco, where he recently shared his excitement about the USTA recognition.
It felt great. I was ecstatic that we got it. I was more ecstatic that we actually spent the money, and the City Councilman spent the money to get this done. And it was a long time coming, and they did it the right way. And to get an award on top of that was even more pleasing.
Thomas also couldn't pass up the opportunity to brag about his players.
And we have in excess of 7 different high school tennis players that play out of this site, that play #1 in their positions throughout the city, that play in our summer program. We have 3 kids this year that are actually summer camp counselors that started when they were 8. I'm real proud of that. Now they're counselors and have jobs. 1 kid is going to be a scholarship at FSCJ this year. So we're really proud of that. Then we get into adult programming, starting at age 21, have 9 teams, 1 men's teams, and of course we have senior teams, 3 of those. That goes up to age 65 and over. Oldest participant is 75. She plays just as well as everybody else.
Many longtime players and neighborhood groups like the San Marco Preservation Society have also rallied around the site over the years. It expanded from 6 courts to 12 and added locker rooms and specialized courts for youngsters 10 and under. Today, it's part of a larger complex that includes Southside Park, the San Marco Library, and Bayless Community Center. But with all the facility changes over the past 20 years, Thomas says some things remain the same.
I guess what I'm most proud of is a little bit of longevity, but more importantly, people still have a fond memory 20 years later, or 10 years later, 5 years later.
Southside Tennis Complex is one of 3 Jacks Parks tennis facilities offering tennis camps, lessons, and league play. And according to Thomas, it's never too late to learn the game.
Tennis is a lifetime sport like golf. You can always play. A few instructions that you have to make it safe for yourself, the etiquette and all of that. Outside of that, it's a lifetime sport.
For more information on tennis in Jacks Parks, visit jacksparks.com, select athletics, and then the link for tennis. So do you have a tradition you look forward to every summer? Maybe it's that first dip in the pool, or maybe, like some of these next folks, it's that first big splash.
For a lot of kids, okay, and adults alike, the fun of swimming and cooling off in a pool is to see how many people you can splash. One of the most effective ways to do this is with the cannonball dive. We stopped by Ocean Way Pool recently to speak to some experts on the subject.
What makes a perfect cannonball is, I would say, a really big splash and put a little bit of style into it, I guess.
Well, what you do is you have to squeeze like your arms and your legs all against up to the top of your body together. The techniques for a good splash is to jump real high, and land.
I like to do cannonballs because it's fun and you get to jump in the water and it splashes and you get to crumble up and everything else.
We at Jack's Parks want to see your favorite cannonball photos, so head on over to Instagram and post them with the hashtag JacksParks and hashtag MyCannonball, and we will repost our favorites. Have fun, cannonballers. For JPTV, I'm Kelly Jordan.
For more information on Jack's Park swimming facilities, visit online at jacksparks.com and select aquatics. So the Duval County Extension Office has a question for you. Can you can? If not, their experts can show you how. UNF graduate Carolise Travieso has the story.
Jams, jellies, veggies, and more, but you won't find this variety at your local grocery store. To get these goodies, you have to visit the Jacksonville Canning Center. The Canning Center has been a fixture in Duval County for more than 80 years. People can come any day of the week to preserve foods so they can enjoy them all year long.
In a way, I think it's one of the best kept secrets in Jacksonville. It is easily obtainable as far as scheduling an appointment. We don't have anyone here full time, but we have a number of volunteers who give of their own time to help you put fruits or vegetables or meat items into jars or cans.
Don't worry if you don't know how to can. The Duval County Extension Office has experts and volunteers to teach you everything you need to know to can safely and efficiently.
Food preservation is an art that has been around for many, many, many years. Everything that we do here in this facility is all tested and tried. All of the recipes are USDA certified. We do a lot of our educational purposes are really rallied around the actual art of food preservation, and that includes not only the canning, but freezing and drying as well.
It's fairly easy. Everyone starts with a good recipe. But if you want to use your own, the Canning Center supervisors must review it to ensure a quality product. Next, fresh ingredients. The most popular are fruits and vegetables, but you can also bring in red meats, seafoods, poultry, pickled items, jams, and jellies. Then comes the mixing and cooking of all the ingredients. Once that's done, it's time for jarring. This includes proper sealing techniques to make sure your final product stays fresh and is safe to eat. Some other tips: if you're using jars, you must bring your own. You'll also need boxes for carrying your product home, and for safety purposes, you're asked to wear closed-toed shoes while canning. Oh yeah, and one more important note, don't forget to have fun.
Here with my daughter, we made Christmas jelly is the name of the jelly we made. It's cranberries and strawberries. And it's been a fun experience.
It's been so awesome. The ladies that teach, they're all volunteers and it's super helpful. They're so organized and have everything prepared. But then they're hands off and let you really participate in making the jams and jellies. But they're right there if you need any help. So it's a great experience.
For more information on taking a class or accessing the center, call 255-7450 or go to jacksparks.com and click on the County Extension Office. For JPTV, I'm Carolise Travieso.
Coming up on JPTV, a kayaker takes us to his favorite spot. Plus, a job that requires an RV. We'll explain when we return. Stay with us.
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here. I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog.
So, I got this new family. And I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy. Oh, and she even talks to it. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Honey!
I'm okay.
Welcome back to JPTV. We're bringing you this part of the show today from Huguenot Memorial Park off of Heckscher Drive. This is one of Jack's Park's 2 oceanfront parks, and it's part of the Great Florida Birding Trail. We'll take you on a tour of the park a little later, but first, a tour of a different kind along the waterways with local kayak guide John Pemberton. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm John Pemberton, the lead guide for Up the Creek Kayak Expeditions. Kelly Jordan and I are going to take you on a trip down Thomas Creek, which I think is an unknown nature adventure. The Timucuan Parks and the Jacksonville Parks together have made a wonderful place to kayak. And when you go kayaking, don't forget PFD, wear your safety vest. Go with a guide that knows what they're doing and can help you paddle better and rescue you in case something does happen. And don't forget your float plan. When you go kayaking, you want to leave a float plan so people know when you're leaving and when you expect to be back. There's plenty of parking here at Thomas Creek, and the ramp is a 1-car ramp, and it's easy to unload and load your kayak with 2 docks to watch from. If you go kayaking here, I would go left. When you go left at Thomas Creek, you go to the less used portion of the creek. It narrows down, and you go across some logs. It's quiet, and you'll have a chance to see more nature. There are less boats to bother you. You just have a much quieter, better time. Thomas Creek is a gem in Jacksonville. It's 20 minutes from downtown, yet no one knows that it's here. We kayak in Georgia as well as Florida, and in Florida, this is my preferred spot to kayak.
That's just one of several kayak tours with John and our own Kelly Jordan, and we're going to tag along with every one of them. All right, it's that time of the show. Lace up your shoes, grab your water bottles, and let's get ready for a walk in the park.
Hi there, I'm Jean Schubert, Parks Naturalist Supervisor with Jack's Parks, and today we're going to explore Huguenot Memorial Park. It's located right off of Heckscher Drive. It's a one-of-a-kind park that has access to the St. Johns River, the Atlantic Ocean front, and the Fort George Inlet. Let's go on in. As you enter the park, you'll notice a beautiful shaded picnic area on the left where you can stop and take a break and enjoy a meal, or you can just keep heading down the road. Going further into the park will bring you to one of the great features here at Huguenot Memorial Park, 70 primitive campground sites, which make this park a great place to stay. Each one comes with a picnic table, fire ring, and you can bring your tent or RV. In the middle of the park, you'll come across this nature center, which is full of displays about the plants and animals that are right here at Huguenot. And Jack's Parks has expanded its environmental education programming. There are guided tours for beach walks and other informative programs about the fish, the birds, and the marine mammals, and more. Huguenot isn't all about education, though. Right next to the Nature Center, you have this recreation area where there's a playground for the youngsters, horseshoes, and during the summertime, a concession building is open in case you want a nice snack or a cold drink. Getting back on the road will lead you out to the sand. The pavement may end here, but that doesn't mean you have to get out of your car just yet. Huguenot is the only park in Jacksonville where you can cruise right onto the beach. On the way, you can stop at the inlet to take in the view. And if you enjoy fishing, then there is no better spot to cast your line. But always make sure you have your up-to-date fishing license with you. Or you can just keep driving out to the ocean. You don't need a seashell because there's no mistaking the sound of the ocean. Here is one of the favorite spots of the visitors. It's the jetties. It's where the ocean meets the St. Johns River. You can sit and watch the waves, or you can watch the ships go up the river like they've done for hundreds of years. This is also a spectacular place for all you bird enthusiasts. Huguenot is part of the Great Florida Birding Trail and offers birdwatchers a wonderful year-round chance to view local and seasonal migrating shorebirds. These dunes are a favorite nesting ground for royal terns and laughing gulls. Well, that's the end of our tour for today. To find out more information about all the great things happening in Jack's Parks, you can go to jacksparks.com, or you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook. I hope you'll take your own personal tour of this park and our many other great parks in Jacksonville. After all, it's as easy as a walk in the park.
We saw a lot of great camping spots in that piece on Huguenot Park. Hanna Park also has a lot of great camping, and along with that comes a unique job. Let's learn more.
Ever gone camping and daydreamed about living in the campground full time? A group of passionate and committed camp hosts at Hanna Park are doing just that. They play an integral role in the day-to-day operations of Hanna Park.
I view the camp hosts, they're the go-between the guest and the park staff. They know how to get things done, and when a guest has an issue, whether it's electrical, plumbing, water, they know who to call in the park to help the guest out.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank y'all. Okay.
They know how to deal with the guest in such a manner that they turn the negative into a positive for the guest.
They seem to do everything. When you need something, they're right there to help you.
We get a lot of people that have only been here for the first time, don't know how to drive their rigs. So we've got to kind of help them figure it out, give them kind of like a real quick crash course lesson. And, you know, it's just, there's always something that somebody needs, or we can make their day a little bit better. We do it.
What is a camp host, you ask? They can vary from park to park, but basically they are volunteers who agree to a specified amount of time at the park to do things like greet new campers, clean campsites, and other park management duties. In return, they get their spot at no cost during their agreed time of service.
Well, they want you to stay at least 3 months, but you could stay up to 6. The hours I put in goes in towards, I'm volunteering, and they give me a site. I don't have to pay for a site. Average, we usually do about 20 to 30 hours, somewhere in there a week. We clean fire pits, help people get their rigs in. If they have any problems, we try to help them with it, or get maintenance to help them with it. But mostly it's just a lot of fun. We meet really good people.
We also just, make sure that they're having a good time, but they're not getting out of hand. Making sure that they follow the rules, but they are still having fun, and they respect the fact that it's family oriented as well.
My favorite thing is meeting the people. I've met some awesome people doing this. This is my second summer here at Hanna.
We've gotten to know the people at the office and the host campers on a first name basis, and they've always been polite, helpful. They keep the grounds very clean. They keep the bathrooms spotless. It's always nice to know that if you need something, they're there for you.
What I would love for people to realize when they come out here and they meet us as camp hosts is we're here for them to ask any questions. We're here to help them. We're here to make sure that they are having a good time, and we're here to make sure that they understand why they need to respect, what's going on. I also would want them to know that we are family out here, and they're part of our family when they're here.
The customer who comes here has choices. They can come here, they can go to Little Talbot Island, they can go to Pecan Park RV Resort, they can go to one of the other state parks or one of the other RV parks. So the host, by making it a good experience, they get the guests to come back here as opposed to going somewhere else. And by having a good experience here, they pass the word on to other people. And we get a lot of people come in the office who say, when we ask them if they've ever been here before, they say no, but my friends rave about this place, and so I wanted to come see it.
Still ahead, two men share how they found personal success. Stay with us.
This message brought to you by USFA and your local fire department. Stay fire safe this summer. Only use grills outdoors, away from siding and deck railings. Clean grills often and remove grease or fat buildup. Make sure your gas grill lid is open before lighting. Have a 3-foot safe zone around grills and campfires. Keep kids and pets clear of the area. Dispose of coals after they cool in a metal can. Never leave grills, fire pits, and patio torches unattended. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov.
I'm a board certified pediatrician. I've practiced pediatrics now for about 14 years. And I always tell my parents I give the vaccine to both of my daughters. And I really do not want them to come to me 20 years from now and say, Mom, I have cervical cancer and you did nothing to protect me. This is a vaccine that is safe, is effective, and it can prevent cancer.
Welcome back to JPTV. We are ending our show today with the Bellis Community Center summer campers here in Southside Park. As you can imagine, summer is a busy season for all of Jocks Park staff. But for one man in particular, the work really cranks up. Kelly Jordan has his story.
To keep a park system as large as the one we have in Jacksonville running takes a comprehensive team of people. A key part of the Jocks Parks team is mower mechanic Johnny Hancock. Following in his dad's footsteps, he joined the city 34 years ago.
When I first started, it was around 81, 82. I was just out of school. I'd done ball diamonds, worked on ball diamonds for the city, fences, stuff like that. And then one of the guys, Alan, come up and he asked me, he said, hey man, how would you like to come in the shop to work? I said, sure. I said, I love it.
Johnny is responsible for keeping all of the park's maintenance equipment up and running. And for this lone mechanic, at certain times of year, that can be a daunting task.
In the summer is our busiest times because they out there trying to make the parks look good. They got weed eaters, they got chainsaw, they got backpack blowers, they got edgers, all kind of stuff, hedge trimmers and all that breaks down. I work on golf carts, I work on John Deere gators, I work on big lawnmowers, I work on the big tractor, changing bush hog blades and all. Just about everything they bring up here I had to work on. And when I first come to work with the city, there was 7 mechanics over there at the other shop and 1 foreman, and now it's only me. Everybody else left, all but me. It's a challenge, it is. And I should thank God I got a job. I got 2 great kids that, you know, every day I wake up and my mind on just taking care of them and working. That's my job, my life.
At the end of the day, even though he'd rather be behind the scenes, he doesn't mind sharing his accomplishments with his 2 biggest fans.
Yeah, I had to take them to the park and I tell them, I say, hey, Daddy work on stuff that, you know, to get out here and cut the grass, or they mark the ball diamonds, fix them, put up fence and all. I said, Daddy work on some of that stuff for them. And they look at me like, yeah, how you kind of do that? But they'll understand in time. And I know in my heart I've done a great job helping out with all that. It don't take one person, it takes a lot of people to make stuff look great. It does.
For JPTV, I'm Kelly Jordan.
Up next, one man's journey from self-discovery to helping others through adaptive sports. Once again, Kelly Jordan has the story.
My name is J.B. Sainer, and I'm involved in the Brooks Adaptive Sports and Recreation Program. I'm also in an apprenticeship within the program. So I've been involved in the adaptive sports since it began in 2007, and it's been a huge part of my life. In 2006, I was in a motorcycle accident while I was a student at FSU in Tallahassee. I was doing a wheelie on a motorcycle, and when the front wheel came down, it landed in a sewer grate and flipped me over, and I broke my neck, crushed vertebrae, C4 through C6, and my spinal cord injury is at C5, C6. So I spent the first 3.5 weeks in ICU in Tallahassee, and then I was moved to Brooks here in Jacksonville. Total, I would say I was in the hospital from injury to coming home for the first time for about 5 months. I basically thought in the beginning I wasn't going to be able to do anything, that nothing that I wanted to do or wanted to accomplish was going to be possible. And it was hard to imagine myself and my personality being in this situation where I'm physically limited, because I never really had any physical limitations before. I could do basically anything that I set my mind to do physically. I was a little reluctant to go out. I didn't think I'd be able to do much with the situation I was in, but I went out to a rugby practice, and I don't think I've missed many practices since then. The people I've met through adaptive sports have been huge. I've learned how they live, how I can live, more than I would ever learn in a rehab atmosphere. It's almost like being born again with a new body and having to try to figure out how to live with that. We get new guys out to the rugby team, and we see the person that we were whenever we were injured. Sometimes guys are really motivated, they have accepted it well, they're ready to move forward and figure out how to live. And sometimes guys are hopeless and defeated, and they come out, and we see guys over and over go through this progression of getting back to life. We see them start driving again, we see them get back in school, and we see them have a career again, start to build a family again. And it's not necessarily because of the rugby, but it's because of that social community we have with each other, where we're helping each other. No question is off limits. So it's much more than just a sports program when they come in. We're allowing them to see the potential that they don't know they have. I think when people have no experience with someone with a physical disability or a wheelchair, they feel sorry for that person, or look down on them and feel like, oh, I could never do that, or I don't know how they do that, or their life's got to be so depressing, that's got to be so bad. But really, the wheelchair is just our way of getting around. It's not our definition of who we are as a person. One of the big themes of quad rugby, wheelchair rugby, and you'll see it on t-shirts, you'll see coaches saying it, is that we're smashing stereotypes one hit at a time. When people come out that haven't seen a wheelchair sport at all, or they haven't seen rugby, they're really shocked that these people are as competitive as they are and as driven as they are to be athletic and follow these athletic goals. When they're strapped in their rugby chair or whatever sport chair it is, and they're in the middle of that game or activity, they don't feel disabled anymore. They're just playing the game. So it's great for us to spread awareness about disability, and that just because we have a physical disability doesn't mean we're not the same people we were before. If I hadn't come across the adaptive sports program, I don't know that I would be able to see myself doing what I'm able to do today, because there wouldn't have been any examples. The program allowed me to see that light at the end of the tunnel, that hey, that guy has a similar disability to me, and he's doing all this and that I'm not able to do now. So I need to get on it and work for those things. So had I not found the program, I honestly don't know where I'd be or what I would have accomplished. I think I probably still would have gone back to school, but I don't know that I would have been able to achieve the level of independence that I have now.
That's it for another edition of JPTV. Thanks for watching. Remember to stay connected with us: Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, Google+, and Instagram. There's also jacksparks.com and jacksparkstv.com. We'll see you back here next time, and until then, we'll see you in the parks.